another question from Mr. Rohit Goyal. It's on Microsoft. 30% of the company business is from high growth enterprise cloud business, and 70% is from mature businesses like Windows, personal computing, etc., which are growing in low single digit to low double digit. In the next 2 to 4 years, cloud growth could also slow down given the large base effect. So, in total, if the company continues to grow at a low double digit over the next 3 to 5 years, then aren't we paying too high a price at the current valuations? Even if the company manages to grow, we might not end up getting the expected return due to for the fund due to correction in valuation.
Thanks, Royal. I think it's a fair question because nobody knows the upper end, the upper limit of how big the cloud computing industry might be. In fact, cloud computing industry is one fraction or one big segment of the overall IT or technology spend that most enterprises do. And by the fact that Microsoft is a top three companies in the uh, cloud computing ecosystem, they have had a significant advantage of their previous enterprise relationships, which came from selling software products. The categorization of 30% to 70% is actually not very fair because if you see the trajectory of business that Microsoft does, the product business has been the slowest growing business, which is 50% of the business now, whereas the remaining 50% is services, cloud computing, the gaming business, the advertising business from the search engine and other areas, plus some content business that they have, which actually make up the other 50% of Microsoft, and which grows in variable speeds. So some areas will grow faster, some will grow slower. Of course, their dominance is not clear in the services bit, whereas in the product bit, we know that the dominance exists and the stickiness of the business exists. So for the past decade, if you see the company evolving, the focus has been completely to make sure that cash flows do not remain affected at all the new investments, if you see, are all free cash flow generating investments. In some areas where the investment decisions have been lopsided, for example, content creation or gaming essentially need more upfront investment. They've also been subsidized by the cash flows coming from the overall business, and it has remained free cash flow positive for a long time. Also, the kind of free cash flow yields and the ability to raise money from the market by borrowing money at a low cost also exists for Microsoft. But they don't need to worry too much about having access to capital to grow in the areas where the opportunity exists. And we have seen that in the acquisitions of LinkedIn. We have seen them acquiring GitHub and doing strategic deals where they could expand their dominance where they did not previously have. So Microsoft being a closed ecosystem kind of a player, now becoming a open source provider, technology provider, that nobody would have envisaged 10, 15 years back that this could be seen as a DNA of Microsoft changing completely. So I wouldn't chalk it up as a slow growth area. In fact, we don't know how big the industry is and which kind of services they are able to provide, what partnerships they are able to provide. And being an enterprise lineage kind of a business for Microsoft, where they have worked with enterprises for the past 40 years seamlessly, I think they have a long way to go.
Thanks,
So
Rana.
Rohil, you mentioned
Yeah.
low double digits, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, low double digits is heaven in the current negative GDP growth, world environment, and low interest rates. You look at the FMCG growth rates in India and the valuations. Low double digits in dollar terms is, if you can give me that in a assured manner, I don't want anything else. Low double digit dollar growth.
Right.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.